Sup peeps, my name's Ian. I sell books on eBay and Vinted, and today we've got a few orders to go through. An order from the other day that I forgot to talk about, but I need to give a shout out on because it's really appreciated. Fantastic. And why golf was nearly banned back in the 90s. We've sold a book about that, but I'll be telling you about that later because I've done this in 2 parts and I actually recorded the second part earlier. It's going to get very confusing for me because I'll forget what I've said when and it'll all go a bit wonky. But I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. Every time I do this, everything's in a slightly different place. So let's crack on, shall we? Right, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's do eBay. Here we go. We'll do the eBay orders first. So the first one is Bester. Somebody Bester. Bester? Who is somebody Bester? It is The Light Fantastic by Albert or Alfred. Let's just quickly find it. I had this and then I went and let my phone close and it's vanished, which is annoying. So let's just get it up again. And I'll just keep talking nothing till we get there. Alfred Bester, there we go. The Light Fantastic by Alfred Bester. That's it there. It's just a cracking book cover. I really do like this. Sold for a tenner. It's going to Simon, who watches the odd video. So thank you very much, Simon. Really appreciate the support. Appreciate buying from us. And if I do find any more like that, I will announce it on here so you know that they're available and coming. So yes, that one sold. It sold the other day and I'd sat it aside to make sure that I gave it a mention and then packed it without doing that. So that's it, there and now. So thank you very much, Simon. Really appreciate your business. So let's get on to the today eBay orders, which is just being a bit perpendicular at the moment. We've got 5 orders to go through just now. It's not brilliant. It is what it is. Let's not get down on it. Let's just share the joy that we have. And the first one is by... Now, I murder people's names all the time, so I apologise. But this is by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Toshikazu Kawaguchi, let's go with that. There we go. It is a book called Before Your Memory Fades, and it's a global bestseller, and it's got a cat on the cover. There you go. The only people one may meet while back in the past are those who have visited the cafe. Huh? Because of the rule that you cannot move from the chair, it's impossible to go outside the cafe to meet anyone. Therefore, you can only meet people who have come to the cafe. Yayo found herself answering, "Exactly," said Reiki, pointing his finger at Yaoye with a grin. There you go. I always find when it's names that I cannot pronounce out loud, I can read them fine because my head just says what it wants to hear. But then when you actually have to say them, it's like, oh, is that right? Does that sound right? So this is the 3rd book in Toshikazu Kawaguchi's sensational Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. So there you go. Before Your Memory Fades, £6.99 on eBay. Dun, 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 dun. It was a sale, right? We've got a bundle of 5 next, which will be, I think, a £12.99er. Yeah, £12.99 this lot went for. Heading to, was this with a few repeat buyers today, but Ulri, Tess Gerritsen. Don't sell many Tess, but every now and again a bundle goes out, and that is what has happened today. So we've got The Killing Place, Last to Die, Playing with Fire, Gravity, Bloodstream. That is the 5 books. I think they're romantic comedies. I could be wrong. That's the feeling I get. But the 5 of those, £12.99. So a nice wee bundle from a multi-listing. And then we've got a bundle of 3. Go and find your own bundle of 3. And these sold for, going to Nick, Another repeat buyer. Cheers, Nick. Don't know if you're a viewer or not. You may be, and you may have told me that in the past, but I'm not very clever. £19.64 for a proper vintage Letters of Cicero, Hutchinson University Library edition. Very nice, actually. Then we've got Pompeii by Mary Beard, which, when I picked it up, also had a wee pamphlet from Pompeii, from the Ministero della Cultura. So I've just always included that in that listing. So yeah, Mary Beard's Pompeii. And Leo Tolstoy, War and Peace. So they must have a door that they want to keep closed, I should say. That one as well. So the three of them for, what was that, £19 something, which is nice. These are the books that I like to sell on eBay. Next, we've got 3 Alec Gray books. So £19 and £9.98 for 3 Alex Gray paperbacks, all in good condition. Never Somewhere Else, Shadows of Sounds, and A Small Weeping. So the 3 of them for a tenner. So that's buy 2 get 1 free, and they're £4.99 each, free postage. That's them. Glasgow thrillers, those. So bit of a local lad is lass, I don't know. It's one or the other, or could be the other. I don't know these days. Right, the last order is again going to a repeat buyer. Well, in fact, it's the same person as the Tolstoy bundle. So yes, I hadn't realised that was 2 separate orders for the same person. But we've got it mixed in amongst it all. We've got a DVD, Firefly, the complete series, and I've got a copy of Serenity sitting spare, so I'm just going to chuck that in as well. We've got The Ghost Stories of Edith Wharton, really nice little hardcover book, and this humongous beast, which is Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. Now it's invisible at the moment because it's sat on my large bookshelf, and when I went to the unit just there, I picked it up, and because it was on the large bookshelf, I sat it aside to pick up with others, and then I left it sitting there. So I'm a bit of a diddy when it comes to that, but I need to go back out and drop off more vintage stock. So sorry, I'll just put that back down again. So I'll grab that then, get them all packed up, and ship it out today. So yes, that was another order that's worth about. It was another order for about 20 quid, I think. Oh, I think. Have a wee look, shall we? Yeah, another £20. So that's a nice order. Thank you very much, Nick. Like I say, don't know if you're a viewer or not, but really appreciate your business and support, regardless. And that is eBay. What was eBay yesterday? What did we do in eBay yesterday? How did the day end up? Let's have a look. Right, so month to date so far. So this is compared to January. And the start of January was horribly, horribly slow. But month to date, we're up. We're up 0.4%. Yep, it's all happening. All going on. Jeez, I'm crow. Really quite bad. Nearly 5% in profit, but as I've started to do a bit of postage, it'll end up roughly the same. And yesterday we did £106 in total, so about 50 quid profit, thereabouts. I mean, it is not enough to earn a living, as I have said many times. But for the amount of effort I'm putting into eBay at the moment, it's fantastic money. I'm listing very few books. I am taking down more listings than I'm putting up, and it's still bringing in a wee bit of money. So it's frustrating considering there's still like 40 odd grand's worth of stock sat on my eBay shop. But I'm not spending hours every day on eBay, so we get 50 quid out of it. Yeah, I'll take that and just make sure that money comes from elsewhere. Right, we do have Vinted as well, which I think was as successful as eBay yesterday. Let's see, we'll click that button, we'll click that button. Oh no, that's just telling me that something's been delivered. Then we click that button, and then we do that, and then we say, oh yeah, here we go. Right, we've got some bundles, we've got some single books. Let's start with a £5.88 bundle. I listed about 120 books yesterday, and that seems to have given us a wee bump and a spike. But a £5.88 bundle looks a bit like this. A Man Called Tom Hanks by Frederick Backman. The Girl on the Train, Paula Hawkins. And Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I've sold a few copies of this now, and I've still got many, many, many left. So every time one sells, I'm just listing another one and keeping them shifting on. But that is a £5.88 Vinted bundle. So, quite nice. Next, we've got another Vinted bundle, and this one was £7.92. 6 books this time. So, well, nearly everything that comes in an offer, as anyone that deals with it probably knows. We've got Edna O'Brien, Girl. Isabel Allende, The Japanese Lover, in 1939. Then we've got one that I just listed yesterday. It is Toni Morrison, Beloved, a vintage edition. Vintage, the publishing company, not the age of it. Then Samira Sadira. Oh, that's a nice name. People Like Them. There are no monsters, only humans. People Like Them. A wee skinny paperback. And then we've got a wee skinny hardcover. Lemon by Kwon Yosun. Yeah, that's a smart and well-crafted page turner, according to Tammy Hogue. Wee hardcover there. And Margaret Atwood's The Tent. Again, they're all wee skinny books, this lot. So that might actually be once we're Vinted to get the weight right and say, that's 2 kilos for 6 books. Even though when I've listed them, it should have been 3, just because it's all 500 gram books. But I think that will be under 2 kilos, so they got one right. And that was £7 something, wasn't it? Was it £7 something? Was it? Yeah, why not? It's £7.92. Right, then we've got a bundle of 2 little books. One by Michael Brooks, the other one's anonymous. Quite like its looks. Michael Brooks, 13 Things That Don't Make Sense. That could be the title of any of my videos. I Am Hitman by Anonymous. I don't know if that's like, if it is a real story or if it's just somebody who's been a bit funny and pretended. But, either way, the 2 of those sold for not an awful lot. £3.13. That's actually not bad. £3.13 for 2 paperback books. And then we've got one that was sold as a bundle. I can't remember what I sold them for. £4.50. £4.50 for 3 clean copies of the Hunger Games trilogy. Not 3 copies of the Hunger Games trilogy. The Hunger Games trilogy, 3 books. Those ones. Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Catching Fire. £4.50. They all went. Again, just listed. So things move fast. And for £3.43, we have Way of the Argosy by Sebastian de Castell. That's it there. I thought that was a really cool book. I like the look of that book. It's the whole, vibe thing, Western stuff. But yeah, she's got a buckled swash. See, she's carrying a buckled swash, but he's just a gunslinger. And he's showed her cards. That was a bit daft. You shouldn't show the other player your cards, because then they know what you've got. Yeah, diddy. Apparently there's a wonderful conceit at the heart of Spellsinger. Yeah, that one, £3, whatever it was, I just said it sold for. And then we've got some single books. Untamed, Stop Pleasing, Start Living by Glennon Doyle, £2.38. We've got Burnt Sugar by Avni Doshi. Shortlisted for the 2020 Booker Prize. There we go. That one went for £1.98. Blues for £1.98. So a book about bees. And finally, this is the most recent of them all, for £3.50. The Girl and the Goddess by Nikita Gill. Let her be a little less human, a little more divine. Give her her heart armour so it doesn't break as easily as mine. This is one girl's wild journey of strength, beauty and growth as she discovers who she really is. There you go. It's a wee hardcover book. £3.50s. That's one that, again, it's been on eBay for a week or two. I thought, let's just chuck it over onto Vinted and see what happens. It was on eBay for like $6.99 and it sold on Vinted, and I'm getting £3.50 for it. No brainer, literal no brainer. And as you'll see in a moment, there was another one a bit like that did that did not sneeze like I just did, but it did almost as well. And that's all our orders. That's everything I have got to show you today, apart from the stuff that's coming up any second now. This is probably part 2. Kind of doing things in weird orders today, but I've got a couple of eBay orders, sorry, three eBay orders to share with you just now, and one little Vinted, and then I can get them packed up and dropped off whilst I go and pick up the rest of the orders, which I showed you a few minutes ago, probably. That's how this will work today. Anywho, let's go with some Vinted. We have a big book. It's called Sick Fuse Fuxie. I'll let you make up your own mind how that is pronounced, by Tilly Cole. I've had this up on eBay for 20 quid for a few days. There's been a wee bit of interest in it, but nothing really happening. So late last night, I thought, right, I'm just going to copy the details across onto Vinted and see what happens. So it was listed for like 20 quid on eBay. I stuck it in Vinted for 14. Somebody made me an offer of a tenner this morning, so I've just taken it. They've paid and it's going out. So I might have made a couple of pound more if I had waited on eBay. It might have sold today, it might have sold in a month, I don't know. But quite happy to take £10.38 on Vinted for Sick Fuxie by Tilly Cole. So I can get that one out today, which is always nice. Then we have on eBay this time, Sam, the story of the heroic little dog that saved golf. Not many people will know that story, but it is quite an interesting one. Golf was on the verge of being banned back in the 90s. 1990s, that is, not the 1890s or the 2090s, because that would be in the future, which would just be completely ridiculous. Yeah, there was worries about, the impact golf balls that were going stray off of courses were having on the local wildlife, the ecology, habitat, nature itself. Was Mother Nature rejecting golf balls? No, she was absorbing them into her ponds, into her long grasses, all sorts of things. There was a total epidemic across the planet. Small children who were trying to collect the balls to sell them back to the golfers. And whilst they're rummaging through the bracken and the brambles, the long grass and the weeds that surround many of these expensive walks, they were getting struck by golf balls. Now, a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people did suspect that the golfers were doing it on purpose. Hitting a moving target is much more challenging than a little flag stuck in the ground, and they were using it as practice. Just hitting at them. A lot of people saying that they knew they'd been doing it a lot, because when they aimed at them, they would shout 4 or some other number as if that was them aiming for their 4th one of the day. So that was quite bad. Also, these little chilly wobbles, they were diving into, they had scuba gear and everything, so they should have been okay, but they were diving into ponds and lakes and rivers, trying to retrieve balls from there, because they don't have to clean them, because obviously they've been cleaned by the river, so it was a much quicker sail once they got them back. But they were diving in there, and you know what's going to happen there. Sharks, alligators, crocodiles, cold water, going home with wet socks, your mum is going to absolutely murder you. So that became a big problem in itself. So it was going to get banned in the 90s for all of these reasons, when suddenly Sam, the lucky retriever, the plucky lucky retriever, came along and started, it was seen right around the world. It was amazing. It really, mind-blowing stuff. Wherever a golf ball was going lost, Sam the plucky retriever would dive into the river, go crashing through the long grass, wherever it was, and retrieve that ball for the golfers. So children were no longer at risk going about trying to collect these balls to sell them back. Of course, it did absolutely crash the playground economy, because all these kids no longer had their extra 20 pences that they were getting for these balls, or I think a quarter in the US was the kind of going rate, these kind of things, however many rupees or yen or whatever, Aussie dollars. So the playground economy crashed, and they had to invent Pokemon to try and revive that, so that the kids would then go and find another way to get money, because they had to buy these Pokemon. You've got to catch them all. And that's what happened. So this book, signed by Sam the dog, very impressed with his handwriting, I'll be perfectly honest. I thought there was just going to be a paw print, but no, there it is there. Sam, 2 rants. I don't know who Rance is, but it's from Sam, 2 rants, signed copy, sold for £7. So that's quite good. A beautiful story. Right, next we have To Shari La Pena, A Stranger in the House, Not a Happy Family, also sold on eBay, and this time for £7.16 or something like that. So £7 for a couple of paperbacks. That'll do, pig. And finally, on eBay, I have a bundle of 20 thrillers going out. So 20 books, $24.99. I've still got this listing up. I'm kind of swithering. Should I just take it down? They're once a week, something like that. A wee bundle sells. It's all stuff that is just in the churn. I can go out, if I didn't have any of these and somebody bought them, I could go out now and pick up 20 books in no time whatsoever, because there are just so many of them out there. But I'm listing more and more of these types of books on Vinted, so I may reconsider this listing soon. Not at the moment, but maybe soon. But yeah, 20 paperbacks, and there's 5 of them. It's just a random selection. Like I say, $24.99. They go into a couple of big envelopes or a box, depending on exactly what mix I've pulled out. And they post for like £6.65, so call it £7, including the packaging materials, which is a bit of an overstatement. A £5 at eBay, so it's like £12 or something I typically make on that one. In fact, let's see what the eBay fees were, because it varies every time, which I don't really understand, because it should either be the promoted rate or the not promoted rate. But a repeat buyer heading to Linda. So £18.86 eBay are giving me after fees from that $24.99. Less £7, so yeah, about £12. Which, yeah, it's alright. It's a bit more than 50p a book, so if I paid 25p for them, I'm doubling or trebling my money. So looking at it that way, it's not bad. And, packing up that lot, it's just like doing 2 normal parcels, time-wise. So, yeah, it's alright. It's nothing great, but if I can keep getting lots of those books, I can keep selling them that way, which is fine. And it's definitely a lot quicker to add a 1 to a listing quantity than it is to put 20 books onto Vinted. So if those sold regularly like that, then I'd quite happily let them do that way. Anyway, right, I will probably not be back, because I'll be doing the next bit and showing you it earlier or something like that. I'm not sure. I might see you again, I might not. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all those wonderful things that don't take you very much time whatsoever, are completely free for you to do, but make a massive difference to the channel and really help us get out there across YouTube. Right, thanks again. I shall see you soon.